So without any delay, let me just can I ask you a few things like how many of us are aware about DRDO? Okay, very few hands. Okay, okay, fine. So the thing is, means when I joined, I also didn't knew much. So, but today, see, we have uh, initial about the space. So I'll just brief about what, because this Indian space capabilities and to act as a catalyst and technology development process. So these are few of the salient features which was in the mind to create a space policy. And how do we achieve that? So it was a strategy which requires a private sector participation, number one. Then to get space technology and services from whatever sources we can get, and to focus on the advanced R&D. So we as a team here, so what we wish to see is that lots of crowd and lots of people and young minds coming to get up into the defense capabilities and space. So these are two quite linked space sectors. Now, apart from that, the strategy of Indian space policy is that they want to bring good public sector participations. Okay, so space education and lots of startups is India requires a lots of startup uh, for the to handle the technologies that are coming up. So in the coming slides, I will be trying to highlight few of the points where you know the technology participations can rope in. So this said, to get a space capability in India, these are the um these are the agencies which are forming the ecosystems. So have you heard of something about uh, NSA, National Security Advisors? So this first one, this is the prime Indian agencies. This is the National Security Council Secretariat. So our NSA, can anybody tell us who is our NSA? Okay, yeah, yes, definitely. So sir is going to head three of the NSAs and deputy NSAs, and they form a NCSC. So this is the prime government of India agencies, which takes care of space sector, defense sectors, and I will say any cabinet files. They have the capabilities to go bring the files and check it out. Then comes the in the space sectors we have got Department of Space, right? Then ISRO, everybody knows, right? So ISRO reports to Department of Space. Then here is a role is coming from the DRDO. So DRDO is an organization that is under the Ministry of Defense. So Department of Space has a different objectives, which I will talk about in a different perspectives of DRDO. Then we have armed forces. Armed forces, they consist of Army, Navy, Air Force, है ना? And this. And in the in the few years, I mean 4 or 5 years back, we started in space. So in space is a space-based acquisition and agencies that basically looks after the induction of space technologies to the commercial domain. Then there is NSI, New Space India Limited. So I think these are some of the new names I just wanted to highlight so that you actually you can have some pin areas here. So New Space India Limited is agencies which is going to launch PSLVs. So specifically for the launch vehicles, these are the agencies we have set. And this said, we definitely require industries, and most important part, though it's on the tail end, the academia. So here is what we look at: the academia and all these agencies working together to get the targets of defense capabilities and space sector, right? So I'm just in this slide. I just wanted to bring out, the ISRO and DRDO. They have a very different perspective. See, ISRO, the main aim is to do the advanced research in space infrastructure, transportation. Those are vehicles. Then applications like We have IRNS, we have got satellite navigation, we have got disaster management, remote sensing. So those are the applications that ISRO works on based on the satellites launched from the Earth. Then we have got uh, ISRO domain, we have got satellite data, research based on these satellites, and long-term plan for space presence. See, there are not many countries which have a space presence. India is proud enough to have a very strong space activities. Even you must be aware, lots of European countries they come to India to launch their own satellites. So India is the platform where we launch uh, the satellites of European countries, and we are very proud that we have done launch around more than 20 satellites in a single vehicle. So these are the capabilities that ISRO has, and it also looks at establishing frameworks for scientific research. So ISRO has presence in more or less maximum academic institution to get these things done. But where DRDO ropes in is, so this is just a brief outline, so that the space sector, how ISRO is performing a role, and DRDO will add up. Okay, okay, sorry. Um, how can I bring it back? Okay, it's just simply going ahead. So we'll get back to it. Uh, where we left? Yes, this one. Next one. Right. See, I didn't wanted to miss this part. See, DRDO has a very different role when it comes up. It's totally focused on point number one: Indian defense capabilities through development of space and systems. So, for space technologies, DRDO has a different, I will say, a collaborative role, an assistance role. Secondly, we also want space-based surveillance systems and national security and strategic needs. So when we say that we want to have a surveillance systems, so is DRDO will be supporting in terms of military surveillance and add-ons. And third one, the industry and academia collaborations. So to support space segment, DRDO roles are uh, kind of assistive to the ISRO domain. So okay, I can skip this. So based on this, we have got national security guidelines. So DRDO basically will be helping on the military operations using space technologies, right? So I'll right now, before we go ahead and I try to tell what are the domains DRDO is working on, I will like to give a very brief picture of the organization. See, DRDO history goes long back from 1958. So first systems that um, was commercialized was the sonar. It was done in 1970. Latest one is the weapon locating radar. So from the LRD, that's in 2025. So lots of systems has been gone through. DRDO started from a budget from 1960. Budget was 1 crore rupees. Today we stand at a 26,000 some hundred 26,000 crores last year. Based on that, most of the things, the maximum budget happens goes into the development of missiles. It's around 38,000 crores, the last worth of investments, and going taking care of radars, LCAs. LCAs are light combat aircrafts. Then we have got life sciences and MBD Arjun. MBD Arjun is the main battle tank of India. So with this, we have also gone started. India is now entering into the export segment of defense. So more than 100 countries right now we are acting as a defense suppliers to these countries. And best part is that, India looks at as a war tested systems for export. So whatever we have been testing our systems in the war, those are the systems people are demanding. Like BrahMos, you must be aware, that's one of the systems. So how this is being achieved? So we'll just take a example of the last actions that has happened in this year, the Operation Sindoor. See, these are some of the snippets of the news. The first one, Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Now they want our systems right now that has been developed in India. So, and how did this happen? Just after the Operation Sindoor, right? Then we have got, yeah, made in India tags. So made in India, this D4 systems, anti-drone, the third one here. So whenever this Pakistan side, there were lots of intrusion of the UAVs and the the small drones. So Indian capability of anti-drone system is to way ahead. So we have a very proven systems, and this systems was made uh, around 15 kilometers from this place, 15 to 20 kilometers. That is the lab which I come from. It's a IRD. So we deal in the electro-optics systems. So this is one of the systems. And the very interesting news, bottom side left hand corner, we see, the all the defense sectors companies, the stocks goes gone up. And look at China's defense stocks went down. So I mean, I'm just trying to tell how the systems are going to affect the whole country outlook, how people perceive India as such, if you are very strong militarily and technologically. Okay. So okay, I think just a little bit of pointing out, government of India has some plans. We must all be aware, Atmanirbhar Bharat is one of them. So what is the idea is to get the defense productions and reduce the imports and get maximum things into the private sector and startups, the third point from the down. So the roles of the products being manufactured in India, the onus is to shift those things on the private sector side. So this is how we are going to strengthen things. And definitely with the a change in the policy reforms. Why policies? Because now first cut things are that, we will be putting most of the things in Make in India, and procurement basis is going to focus on the systems that are made in India. Right. Now, I would like to take note of this slide. Here we have got 4 or 8 subsystems, which includes AI. So what I want is, today, maybe most of the things was not directly related to you, but this slide is definitely is. So here, this is how we see that in coming years, these technologies is the future of the sector. So pick anyone, try to figure out or try to grasp things what we can contribute in any one or any of these things. Like, artificial intelligence is a big buzzword. So why not machine learning and artificial engineering intelligence? A lot of requirement is there. So this is going to take a big role, right? So I have a few slides focused on that. Second is, we definitely want something like UAVs. So UAVs is a big sector, including the ground robots and autonomous vehicles. So inside the sea, on the land, and above the land, on the air. So these are the things we are looking at. Even the logistics. There are some governments has created a platform where we are creating a drone corridors. So it's not very far where you will be seeing packages being delivered like Zomato, Swiggy, and Amazon packets through a drone based delivery onto your home place. So those are dedicated drone corridors are being defined. So to do that, we need a technologies based on that. We have got cyber warfare and electronic warfare coming up. So you are developing systems, but there is a counter development systems where people want to, you know, destabilize you using those systems. So this is one area we should be working on. And hypersonic weapons. This requires people from aerospace. We got people from mechanical engineering to work on these sectors. This is very challenging sectors, and a sect we will be using. And last but not the least, the bottom one, the next generation materials. So we want to, you know, you pick technology, the material science, the process. These things are going to uh, get us the man force and workforce to achieve these solutions. And uh, directed energy weapons. So this is one more field which I have a small discussion on that too, right? So that was the future. The previous slide was showing the future perspectives. Now I'm coming back to DRDO perspective. See, DRDO is working on the systems noted here. I mean, the first one is naval systems. So this is one of the prime area. We have got aeronautical systems. So this is how DRDO operations are divided on. Then we have got armaments. Armaments includes the tank systems. We have got artillery systems. Artillery are big rocket firing systems. So then comes the missile and strategic system. It's a separate domain here. The electronics and communication systems. So I come from this electronics and communication systems and partly from the armament and combat engineering systems. Then the soldier support system is a separate portfolio inside. Then a new and very important group, that's the microelectronics devices, computational and cyber security systems. So, you know, cyber is a little bit concerned to us. I will tell you why. You know, quantum computers are right now, they are not future, it's a present thing. So India has bought around two quantum computers, are costing a single computer costing about 450 crores, a single one. So we got two of them. So just to do the computations so that a cyber attack doesn't happen. So we definitely need to focus and protect our assets so that even without any war, people are not able to get inside our networks, right? So they can, networks means it's all critical infrastructures, even the power systems, power grids. So they are very vulnerable. So those, we have got financial systems, we have got our banking systems. So those needs to be protected apart from the defense networks. So this is the idea and a brief overview how what are the domains area currently we are working. And I definitely implore you to, you know, look at it, find uh, the six before technologies I highlighted in the slides, and which is common in everyone. It doesn't mean, you know, that aeronautical systems they work only on aeronautics. It's a total mashup of technologies. So pick anything, and it's based on the applications we can divide, right? But um, one more important thing is what I have seen, and personally I've noticed that, you know, the embedded electronics part is common in everything. So electronics is like a common parasite that sticks to every systems. You know, you cannot rig anything out of it. So that's a very important domain, and for all of us. So it's going well. Um, okay, right. So I'll quickly go through some of the systems. You know, these are the electrical and electronic systems. These are divided into 5 or 6 categories. First one, you are very well aware of radars. Then we have got EO systems. So EO systems and optical instruments, there's a very total different domain, because we are looking not the physical RF and electronics things. We are looking at the imaging sides, imaging, Imaging is a very vast domain. So different materials, lenses, optics, detectors. So optical and EO instruments is a very important domain. And next comes semiconductors. We definitely agree India has not been very active players in terms of semiconductors, but DRDO has three of the main labs working from the last 30 years, and we are definitely lagging, little bit lagging behind the world standards. Those labs are SSPL in Delhi. We got GATEC and StarC, Hyderabad-based labs. So they work on the semiconductors. Then electronic warfare, I tell you, we have got radars. So a counter radar systems where you want to fool the radars or you want to protect our radar systems. So in electronic warfare is required. So those are the we are working on. And I will tell you, nothing works if we do not have communication. So we cannot work without communicating with each other. Things and resources are distributed in a way. So a lab which is Defense Electronics Appliance Laboratory, again in Dehradun, that takes care of the communication aspects in DRDO and these systems. And this set apart, this cluster is starting and have some progress going towards the quantum technologies. So quantum and AI, these are the things I will suggest that we should start learning. You know, I'll tell you what. When the computer came, the first computer ENIAC, then we got the punch-based computers. So C language and the basic language was the first computer languages that entered into the computation area, right? And then came the internet. So that was two of the big revolutions, technological revolutions that changed our working, the whole structure. Next structure that's going to change is with the quantum technologies. So AI is going to accelerate when we have a computational framework that does the implementation of the quantum. Sorry, the AI. That's the quantum computations. So it's very fast computable. We have to actually unlearn and then relearn, because we need to forget how the previous computational methodologies are. So I think this is the right time we should start learning those programming techniques, the methodologies, and the algorithms specific for the quantum computations. Okay, why? Armed forces require these. We cannot make any state of art systems unless we get a fusion of all these technologies. Okay. Okay. Right. So I'll just quickly go through this slide. So just to give an idea how a radar looks like, this is the top figure. It's a vehicle, Tatra vehicle, a 4-ton vehicle, and a radar which looks something like a flat billing board mounted on the truck. So this lands into a ESA radar. ESA is a electronically steering architecture based radars. So this is one. Then we want radars because there are lots of threats coming inside our territory, which is fast moving vehicles. These days we have got hypersonic speed vehicles also. So we want is something like fire control radars. So we do not want people who are actually, if we there are people, the operators who are operating the radars, but by the time they see a threat, that threat is already inside. So a most major thing is that we want a fire control system directly attached to the radar systems. So automatically, whenever a incoming threat is detected, the fire control systems takes up. This is what has happened inside the Operation Sindoor, where we had S-400 systems. We have got Astra, Akashtir that you say was there, and whenever these threats were detected, automatically uh, action was taken against that. So that's a fire control radars. Then it comes into a short and long distance. So it's a the armed forces and the commander a war tactics which decides which to fire effectively. So short one, when you wait and fire the short one, or you take a start action and launch a long range um, defense option for them. Okay, so this being said, these radars not only works on the ground and air, they are very much needed on the naval ships. See, navy, why this British UK was so powerful that it was at some stage it had a big share of the whole world under him, under the UK rule. Why? It was very powerful in navy. So UK, that was an era where the naval was the, the might. So this way, this time also, India is way ahead in the naval seaside defense systems. So radars, specifically for sea environments, are they have a different operational requirements. So all three domains radars are covered, right? Then, if radar is there, I will tell you a fooling mechanism. That's a electronic warfare system. So which tells us that if a radar is there, we can create a false targets to them, or we can hide as planes. Our plane can have this EW systems, and we can fly just above their enemy radars, and they are not going to detect us. This is what has happened when we captured the UK plane. We held it down to in our land for many days. We brought it down by our EW systems. So this is a trade secret. So nobody is going to teach you that. I will tell you. Nobody is going to tell you how EW systems works. You have to figure it on your own. So this is one of the things we want people to come up with, the algorithm side, the actual signaling side, how this will work on. So till they, and it's a big business. Let me tell you, 3,000 crores radars bought by Navy, and we have got around Indian Army 10,000 crores costings. Then we have got EW systems, ELINT, electronic intelligence, that works on the interception, monitoring, and direction finding. So, and you can have a little pictures. These are the actual systems which India has. So you can have a. It's not very much clear, but it looks clearly looks like a transmitter and reception systems, and working on that, right? Then one of the favorite, the anti-drone systems. See, this I'm highlighting is this thing is because future warfare is going to happen only by the UAVs. So the days where we have a hand-to-hand fight is, I think, is a history. Now we are going to engage everything with the machines. So to do that, we anti-drone system is a must. So we have Doppler radars, which can figure out a small drone the size of a bird. This is one. Then a directed energy weapons. Any system, it goes into two destruction mode: a hard kill and a soft kill. Hard kill is you either bring it down with a bullet or a small firing systems, or you can do a soft kill. Soft kill is by the systems. Okay, so DEW fires a 2 kilowatt laser, and it burns down the electronics and the control of a UAV, and it simply the vehicle goes down. Okay, so these are a few other systems that are required. I told you, right, the our Achilles heel, the semiconductors. So semiconductors, see, we have got lots of fabs worldwide which have really advanced. So I will tell you, the reality is that we are at least 2 or 3 decades behind the current semiconductor state of art. But uh, no, that's not. We should not be disheartened by that. Why? Because even if we are not doing the commercial semiconductors, we can definitely take care of those semiconductors which requires uh, which is traditional in a way, like high electron mobility transmitters. Many of you people will be learning in the coming stages. The HEMT is there. Then these field effect transistors based on gallium arsenide and new materials like gallium nitride and silicon carbides. the mixture of semiconductors with these new materials is going to form a new kind of existing, yeah, you'll say components which form a particular part. So this we should be take care, and then we will be okay. We can take care of most of the things, like aluminum gallium nitride. This is a very important material. So we can take, not silicon, we can take care of semiconductors in these areas. Then we have got IR detectors and sensors. Okay, so MEMS based sensors and uh, yeah, magnesium niobate and lead titranate. So these are some of the materials where single crystal materials and the technologies are required. And currently, India has done government to government acquisition deals with the Israels, which are in progress. So they will be, Israel is one of the very popular country in terms of the sensors technologies. So they are willing to set up the some of the sensors technologies inside India. So we want people, who have interest and get some training done in this area. Then high power laser diodes. These are um, the technologies which we do require. All right. Right. Now, I'll just give a brief about the military communication. One of the most important aspect. If we can't communicate, we are blind in a way, right? So, what are the focus challenges in area? I'll show you some of the systems. Anybody heard of these SDRs? I will tell you. See, radios. Everybody has seen earlier radios. Not many have seen that. What we used to have, a big hardware, a turning knob. Then we used to, set the frequencies, right? But what happened is that in the last coming years, the hardware complexities, we have shifted to the software side. So these days we write softwares and we create waveforms and directly put it into the antenna systems. So that technology is SDR. So SDR is software defined radios. So the thing is that we are pushing a big software and waveforms making and directly coupling to the uh, basically the antenna systems. So what we see here is one of the manpack SDR and a power boosters are required to boost the RF power. So these SDR is a most important hardware which governs the complete war scenario. Why? See, we cannot use a mobile phone, we cannot use this thing that is coming from the internet. We are very peculiar of not using a satellite based communication, because that can be received in a by your enemies, right? So SDR for navy is a different, SDR based for the army roles are different. Okay. And but you must be having one question in your mind: why it looks like an 1960s based handsets? It looks like a proper base receiver. The answer is very clear. See, we are putting how much power? 10 watt and 50 watt power. So we in no way we want these things radiating near my head. Okay. A traditional old base approach is the go. Though we all are using mobile phones, let me tell you that the RF radiations, uh, it affects in a localized heating of the um, flesh near the phone area. So we should be very peculiar of using RF, and most importantly, the pulse based radiations. So in all our mobile phones, we have got pulsed radiations. Okay. See, one of the critical things we should be worried about little bit. So limit the uses, but the power levels that these SDRs are communicating, they are communicating directly with satellites. So no way we will be exposing our, the soldiers with these kind of powers. So we do use these old kind of techniques. Then it should be light. That's one, and remote controllable, right? So I'll tell you, you can make a data link out of that. SDRs can form a data link. Why? Uh, we have, a UAV tapas, which we must have heard in the news somewhere. So this tapas, it comes into a male category of UAVs. So male is a long endurances. So long endurances is these planes, the center picture. These planes can fly by turning their engines off. So they can have a flight for 6 to 7 days without turning their engines, just by the natural airflow. They maintain their altitudes, and altitudes are medium altitudes. So we have got tapas here. India is way ahead in the aeronautical domains. Then the data links of these planes, when they are flying unconnected, done by the SDR domain. So one of the scenario, you see there is a dish that communicates the bottom figure. It communicates with the satellite, and satellite communicates to a platform and with the ground station using these data links. So you can have a very respectable speed to get the get all the software connections between them. Okay. So see, I'm just trying to brief few of the systems. I cannot cover maximum systems most of the things are working on, but I'll just like to highlight, like in communication system, this is one of the uh, use case. This is a use case in the Himalayas, because India is very complex. We have got deserts on our west. We have got a, snow-laden peaks on the north, and those beyond these peaks, we have got the maximum intrusions coming up. So we need to maintain the peaks and the presence of our soldiers and army in those areas. And these mountain areas, that they are so vulnerable for avalanche and other activities, the natural disasters happening up. So what happens is, there is a each soldier is carrying this NatSat, and it communicates via the satellite to the each of the individuals. So any warnings, see, there is one NatSat M, the leftmost tower. It's a basically a uh, arrow, not arrow. It's basically a weather tower. So it has got lots of sensors on that, and we have installed these towers, the weather towers, in every mountain area. So it tells us the status of the sensors, and there is a big algorithm that works on and predicts if something is going to happen, like a snow avalanche is going to happen or not, which gets, if any software triggers have come up, so it tells the crew to leave that area. So this is one of the important the use of satellites, space use, directly use, helping the army for a disaster management. So this is one. Then trans horizon communications, where we can have beyond line of sight communication. So these are some of the systems which uh, which uses, and definitely AI is going to play a big role here in these. Now let's take a little bit till the last. Anybody has some questions between these old or conventional based systems? If any has a doubt, you can please interrupt and ask me. And but these are in this slide, each and every thing that I've highlighted is based on the talks of the some of the communities which are actively working on the quantum domain. So quantum domain is directed into two major segments: a quantum computing, and second one is the quantum communication. So what is a quantum computing is, we require something like three or four systems. I have domain areas I've highlighted. The last one, if I tell you, right, I will start with the bottom one. Like, let me say, the entanglement theory. So quantum works on the entanglement theory. You must be learning it in the coming years. Very well, you will be working on those. So quantum entanglement based hardwares, they are going to be in the reality. Okay, then we have got a data security. So that comes a random number generator. See, random number generator and a sine theta generator is two things which everybody requires. Even for a Mars based mission where we used a Chandrayaan, we sent a Mars rover, and those things, they require a basic computation of a sine theta. So you must be saying, oh no, what is, how come such a simple step? But let me tell you, sine theta computations for these kind of missions, they require for an accuracy of, I will say, 20 to 30 digits down the decimal. So with that accuracy, I need to compute a sine theta value for each and every computation. I do that, every 2 millisecond new values coming up, I need a sine theta conversion with that much accuracy. So this is still a very running problem in the engineering domain, to get a sine theta computation and a random number generator. So random number generators based on quantum computing is one of the, a sought out area. We want to work on the quantum gravimeter. China has already done that. They have a quantum systems that does the gravitational measurement. Why gravitational measurement? It solves and does lots of new kind of weapon systems, or uh, a systems that can tune up things. Like navigation. Navigation requires a gravity parameter. So quantum based gravity meter is with a very good precision. So that is required. Then magnetometer, for the same reasons we made. Let me tell you, quantum can bring down the accuracy by a factor of 10 to the power 5 to the normal systems that are available by normal engineering technologies. So this is what we are looking at. And if computing is done, then the second part is the communication. So we have got entanglement theory, we have got quantum network for secure communications, and cryptography. So this is, with the entanglement theory, we can have a communication which can go beyond our galaxies. So this is what theoretically is possible. So that's what people and lots of our efforts should be going into that. Okay, right. The one more buzzword, the AI. See, till now, these are some of the snapshots where we were capable of putting some of the AI algorithms into the systems. I will show you two of these slides later on. One is the facial recognitions, then the crowd behavior analysis. This is done. Then, very important, gun on drone target identification. Turkey has already done that. So drones with a gun, and it has a facial recognition. It is always flying, and it attacked to the target only when the facial recognition was successful. So these are the technologies we are looking at. Then I will show you one separate slide for the smart helmet based room intervention systems. Okay, it's totally using the AI based modeling and things. Then we have got drone based real time localization mapping. Let me tell you, Indian government has already launched a Naksha program. So we are going to do a complete land digitization and three-dimensional mapping of the city based on the drone. So look at that, how much new types of systems are going to land in. So we want a vision systems, we want a AI based systems where we will be fusing the image data and the sensor data of the drones. Then we have got UAVs and ground vehicles running totally on the AI logics. I will say not totally. Till now, we have been using them into some unmodeled model space are mapped into the AI domain, right? Then underwater systems, which has their own sonar, quite capable of distinguishing a plane and sorry, a ship, um a fast moving boats, and a friendly ship and a enemy ship. They are quite capable of doing that. And Star Wars, the last picture. We got robots walking on 2 legs and 4 legs. Okay, so these are some of the systems which require AI 100% working into it. All right. So I would definitely like to implore you to learn the basics of AI, how to go and model a system, how to train a systems, and find any of the applications. Any you can start doing that in a from the day one of your classes. And I must till now everybody must be aware of Chat GPTs, Black Box, DeepSeek. Okay, so these are some of the examples. You can have the you can feel the power of those, but bring that power to. But unfortunately, you know what? When we look things, we do not want that each and everybody we should start teaching and making Chat GPT more powerful enough so that it becomes our own enemy. You know, वो था ना there's one story, uh, भस्मासुर भस्मासुर नहीं बनाना है, तो कई चीजें हमें बचानी भी हैं. So that's with that idea AI we should learn, not totally dependent on that. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. How much time do you have? So before, thank you for that. I think now the cloud is active, and that's a good thing because most of the things uh, it goes out. Okay, now AI, the future defense applications will take up these kind of roles. What we see, we have got air defense systems making their own decisions, aerial systems grid to neutralize urban warfare. This is a domain which we are seeing it right now. Pahalgam is one of them. Okay, then future combat soldier as a systems. We want, there is a plan that a soldier becomes itself an android system. So what android is, it is tagged with lots of sensors, lots of decision making on its suit. So he's going to see a complete network information before his eyes. He can fire his own fire systems based on his decision making from his own the tablets and uis is user interfaces. So these are some. Then EW is one, and modeling, simulation, and manufacturing. See, it's not only the AI is not going to work only on the systems; it's going to work in the manufacturing sector as well. So this product realization, removal, and qualification. These are some. Okay. All right. I can quickly go through it. So this has been the journey of DRDO for the UAVs. So we had this old robotic systems, few of the automation modules earlier working in the factories. Okay, we have got algorithms, specifically AI algorithms deployed in the crowd based scenarios, right? Then these are some of the vehicles you will be seeing in the domains where we have surveillance radars and outcomes. So right. So this I'll quickly go ahead with this slide. This one is a I told earlier, right? AI application where a camera feed is passing through an AI algorithm that works back to check behind the masks. So many of the things like Mission Impossible, they were making one mask and wearing it. It's not like really like that, but some kind of camouflage people do to hide their identities. So these cameras are smart enough to get those things working up. Okay, so latency required is 100 milliseconds. Right now, the camera frame rate we work on is 25 milliseconds. So 4 frames is able to decide, what a person real is real or it is having a camouflage on that, right? Then smart helmet based intervention systems. These days, you cannot. There are lots of uh, threats that comes inside um, the what I will say, the um, our home and city based structures. Okay, so here a solution coming from the AI is that a person goes with a lidar systems. Lidar is a small laser based ranging systems, and people is simply walking through these rooms, and AI based systems recognizes very well how the rooms are, if there is any change from the last outcomes, and it gives a decision to the person, live decision making, so which a human person may or may not be able to decipher. Okay, so here the use of the AI comes in. Then the robots, yes, definitely we have got a big requirements coming up for India to work on the bio inspired systems. So um, it's a thought process where we will be deploying in a very short time these bipeds near our borders. So this one of these systems is going to take care of around 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer of a patch on the border. It knows this patch, it remembers this patch, it knows every pits, it knows every way in that area, and it's going to defend that part. And beauty is, if somebody shoots it down, no worries. You just take this memory and feed it into a next biped. So it knows what the previous one knew that. Okay. So totally based on the AI. So not, I've seen these systems when they were trying to balance themselves on two legs. So it's a little bit, it's going to be in the future. So with your help, I guess, find some algorithms and get this thing working on. Okay. Then quadruped is one. So plan is to mount, use this quadruped, put some small machine guns or a laser dazzlers kind of things to do that. Okay. So I can skip this thing. I think the best practices, if not much, but these are some of the steps which goes into the system engineering stages, how to build a product. But okay, I will, right. Some of the case studies I already discussed, SDR. Okay, I'll take it. I'll just show you. Take a uh, the things of the pictures. You can take a look. Right, Doppler radar, RF based. We did talk. DU we talk. Okay. Then case study 3, the ROVs. These are some of the ROVs done inside. Even the bomb. If there is a bomb and we do not want people to go and disarm it, we have a systems which goes there and does the small um, robotic things it does, and it can disarm things. Okay, so it has got small endurances of 3 hours. I will say 3 hours is less. We want to work on the energy based technologies so that we can have that autonomous thing going into 10 to 12 hours kind of thing. Okay, right. And last of the case study, this is what is protecting us right now, the integrated command centers for the aircraft. Okay, multi-layered counter drone and air defense grid. This is a thing where we have a air defense system, we have got a point defense systems, then the short range defense systems. Okay, and the radars, the systems like Akash, Astra, BrahMos. BrahMos is a, now we have launched a hypersonic BrahMos. So we are touching 7 max speed and going up to 500 to 600 kilometers. Okay, long range. So those systems we have got AW and C air, these warning electronic warning and controls platforms. We have got EW systems and the radars. So these forms are our control air defense backbone. Okay, right. See, with this slide, I would like to, yeah, I'm just in the verge. I will tell you one thing. See, nobody, एक कहावत है ना, अकेला चना भांड नहीं फोड़ सकता, right? This is an example of it. See, you have LCA Tejas, one of the systems developed here. In this slide, everybody who has done given a part of it is listed. You see, we have got academia, IIT is coming up. We have got CSIOs, DST labs coming up. We have got DRDO labs coming up. Each and every cities. Bangalore, a big infrastructure is there. We have got, the uh, yeah, DSTs, labs, and everybody contributed in a way to get these systems on the air. And we should be proud enough. In Dehradun, we have got two labs which did participated and had a small things. So idea is even a small thing we have done helps us to make a big system. Small wins daily. This is what is required. This is one system. Akash. Akash is not done by one. Again, you see, L&T, private sector participation is there. We have got ordnance factories, IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, Samir Lab. All these things finally, and each and every had their presence. ISC did a very important contribution in that. So academia, I will tell you what, this would not have been possible if academia support to industry and these things was not there. It's not going to happen. So I will say till now, Akash, we have already crossed 34,000 crores orders. Look at that. Had we've been buying all these things, we have been putting our, the whole tax structure burden on the our netizens. So this is what we have been able to achieve. So 300 plus industry partners for this project, and lots of government labs and other agencies which made this happen. Okay. So this is the way ahead of a defense R&D. You start from the concept, configure it, adapt it, parameterize it, standardize it, so you are able to make it again and again and again. And interoperability, same system can work on different platforms. So with this, I will say take the audience for questioning, please. And
First,
please take that. Yes.
sir, first follow first. Thank you giving this opportunity, sir. As you said, S-400 ballistic missile, sir. We know that it is producing by Russia,
Yes.
and we have no ballistic missile like S-400. So, sir, my question is, when will we make like S-400 ballistic missile and upcoming S-500 ballistic missile?
Okay. A very nice observation. See, we didn't make S400, correct. But I will tell you the current scenario. Russia has offered India to make S600, and it's going to give us the technology to develop the S600. Forget about S500. China doesn't have the S400 as well. Okay, so it's not going to happen in a year. I will tell you, it's going to happen in a decade. You will see that S600 made in India will come out definitely.
And sir, I have on question also. Recent time we have also launched Agni 5 intermediate ballistic missile. So, sir, what is the range of Agni 5 ballistic missile?
Boss, don't ask these questions right now. Okay, I will simply give a figure to you. Doesn't
Sir,
matter.
actually,
Ah,
Agni 4 ballistic missiles range is around 3 kilometers.
not
Sorry,
three.
3,000
Ah,
kilometer to
ah,
5,500 किलोमीटर.
okay.
बट also अग्नि 5 का तो मतलब ज़्यादा ही रेंज रहना चाहिए. 5,500 किलोमीटर से.
No, no, it doesn't work this way. The longer the range, the better the system. It doesn't work really. See, I will tell you. You have to look who is your enemy. Do you see any enemy beyond 7,000 kilometers? Or I will say there are two kind of systems. One goes 7,000 kilometers, but the kill probability, we call it the probability of kill. That is 7,000 kilometers, kill probability is 85%. And a system that is 4,000 kilometers, kill probability is 99%. Which one is better? I think that's a call the leader of the army, the general takes up. Okay, so what I need to fire. So it's not like that. The long range system is better. It is the operational scenario which does it.
Sir, but sir, if will happen war with USA, so then what will we do?
Okay. See, if you want to, that's a okay. It's a very political question, but right. See, if you want to beat America, okay, so you do. You know that India is how much? India is right now. What number we have? The world economy we have in the order
India fourth.
4. You want to beat America, right? So do what America or economy number 1, economy number 2, economy number 3 is doing. You know what? Economy number 4 we were able to do by making defense, our sorry, industry strong, little bit of Atmanirbharta, मेकिंग थिंग्स राइट, नेशनल हाईवेज अच्छे कर दिए, सब कर दिए, इकोनॉमी नंबर 4 पे आ गए. इकोनॉमी 1, 2, 3 पे आने के लिए अमेरिका से बदला लेना है, तो यही करना है. और वो कैसे करोगे? वो करोगे जो इकोनॉमी नंबर 1 और 2, 3 कर रहे हैं. क्या कर रहे हैं? वो डिफेंस सिस्टम्स एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. आपको डिफेंस एक्सपोर्टर बनना है, तो आप उससे अच्छे सिस्टम्स बना के एक्सपोर्ट कर दो, अमेरिका खुद गिर जाएगा, है ना?
Thank you, sir.
राइट.
Hello, sir. My name is Nikhil Upadhyay. So my question is: in future, we all know that sir, all country depends on cyber war. So how India work on their cyber system?
Okay, देखिए, till now what we have been doing is we are creating an air gap isolations. इसका मतलब ये है कि एक सिस्टम हमारा बाहर है, हमारे सिस्टम्स उस नेटवर्क को टच नहीं करते हैं, बिल्कुल आइसोलेशन में काम करते हैं. तो देयर इज द बेस्ट पॉसिबल वे कि देयर इज नो इंटरफेरेंस बिटवीन आउटर टू इनर. सो दिस इज वर्किंग टिल नाउ, बट इट्स नॉट वर्किंग, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क फॉर द फ्यूचर. आपको उन सिस्टम्स में एंटर करना है और अपना को साइबर से प्रोटेक्ट भी करना है ना? तो वो सब टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, आएंगी अभी.
Sir, I question sir, in future, what is more मतलब special, armed forces या फिर cyber war?
साइबर वॉर. अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ. देयर इज वन एग्जांपल, यू नो, लास्ट 24 लेट, अब यू जस्ट फिगर इट आउट, इट्स इन द न्यूज. श्रीलंकन ग्रिड कैप्चर्ड, कोलैप्स्ड.
Yes, sir.
It's called Dakkar. ठीक है? Why it happened was because of cyber wars. Actually, their whole renewable energy, solar generation got failed. उनके ग्रिड कोलैप्स कर गई, कई सप्ताह लग गए उसको उठने में, है ना? Same happened in Germany. So cyber war is going to not directly hit you on other systems. They are going to collapse most of the things. I will say that the weakest is the power. They are going to target power.
Thank you, sir.
है ना? So we need to protect our systems.
Hello, sir. My name is Inder, and I have a question for you.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
How can we join like organization like DRDO and ISRO
Ah,
just after completing their UG courses?
okay.
How do they select them?
How do we select? Okay, DRDO and ISRO, they work. The recruitment happens just after the BE, engineering graduates. So you need to have a gate score and a little bit of enthusiasm like you have, right? And a simple interview, and it's going to do. But a BTech is must. And these days there are plans that after recruitment, the youngsters, they do not directly enter into the labs. They go and for the master's program, and then they come into the lab. So ISRO itself has a training scenario. DRDO has this different training scenario. But both recruitments are separate, right?
Thank you, sir.
हाँ. But after BTech. Yes. Hi, sir. Thank you so much for your patience here.